Hey everyone, this is JoyboyP
and RyFire. Welcome to this week's special build.
and today we have a build guide for you. This time it's a budget build that we're making for someone.
This basic build is for the everyday gamer. You know, basic average gaming, goes on the internet a little bit more than his usual games. So in actual sense we've gone for the Firebox case, which is originally mine.
And it's the Firebox Technician Blue case.
That's right. And as you see, it's got a few little features up here. It has a USB 3 slot, two USB 2.0 USBs, microphone, headphone jack, the usual, and SD card internal. And then we got our ports and everything with nice little removable filters. Though you have to snap the metal backs off. If I just take one out now to show you. For this to actually be used as a bay, you have to snap these out.
Most of the points on all the parts on this video, have been covered in previous reviews, which I'll leave in the description below.
Exactly. See if
we'll
snap that
cover some basic specs and so on.
I'll snap that back in a minute. A bit more fidgety than they are helpful. But anyway, let's get on to the actual parts then. What we're going to start off with is we're going to use some Corsair fans, some very well known ones as we see here. The SP series, I believe, is it not?
That one's the AF fan.
Oh, the AF one, yes. And these are the SPs, aren't they?
Yeah, those are, we have two, SP 120 fans, one AF 120 fan, and we have another blue LED stock fan which came with the case. We're
leaving this fan in majorly for its appeal. Mainly.
It was originally in the front, in the bottom of the case, and we're moving it to the side window.
Exactly. The reason we are moving said fan is because the actual fact is, after examining the case, we have found it's pointless. Because there is no air intake from here, anywhere from the front whatsoever, and then it's going straight on.
You literally stick your hand next to the fan and there is no air current at all.
And all it's doing is going straight on onto the hard drive bay, but the fact is it's hitting a solid wall, isn't it? So the air is not practically going anywhere.
Okay.
Anyway, and now we move on to the HyperX. The Kingston HyperX 120GB HyperX 3K SSD. I have one of these in my laptop, and all I can say is the speed far superior than any HDD.
Yeah.
No.
There is one in my sister's laptop as well, which is used as a communal computer. My sister's laptop is the only running laptop in my only running computer, except from his laptop in my house at the moment.
Yes, we did have one build, but not so much luck with that one, did we?
No, we've not finished the build yet.
Yes, okay, you're too true. Anyway, as we've moved on to that, allow me to move on to our main component, the AMD FX, the FX 8320. This is an 8-core processor running and clocking at 3.5 GHz in normal, and then to a 3.9 in turbo?
I think it overclocks to 3.9, I'm not sure if it does.
Allow me to just check for our viewers. 3.5 GHz in normal, and yes, 3.9 in turbo, so that's okay.
So it's got the same boost and core clock speeds as the i7 4770K, just as a comparison for everyone.
Yeah. Majorly, should I just mention, AMD are focused mainly because they're a budget sort of builders. You see, the thing with an i7, it would most likely outperform this processor. Not most likely, obviously would. So basically, what can I say? We're just going for a basic budget, so please, no negativity on the fact of AMD. It's just we're trying to keep it in a nice budget. Anyway, moving on.
Just a quick word, Ryan. Look into the lens, not at me.
It is very difficult to do so. It's like an eye. Anyway, Gigabyte Ultra Classic, as it says, Ultra Durable Classic.
Ultra Durable 4.
Yeah. Oh, the 7A LMT USB 3. I had one of these in this originally, which we've moved into a sister's build.
The original one was the 4.1 revision. This one's the 5.0 revision, which is on a brown PCB. The other one was on a blue PCB.
Yeah. So. But anyway, it's a fairly good motherboard, especially for its actual size and its actual price. Because this, what was it, £30–40?
It was just under £40.
Just under £40, and that's quite a good price.
And I personally believe it's probably one of the better motherboards for the AMD the AM3 Plus socket motherboards.
Yes.
Under £100 anyway.
And then allow me to move on to our RAM cards, as they're right in front of me. The Kingston HyperX, what are these called, Stephen?
HyperX Blue.
Right, the HyperX Blue. Right then.
What was with that look?
I just realised something, but we'll take it in the outtakes. There will be outtakes. And then we move on to our LEDs, the Alchemies, the Premium Modding Series.
The BitPhoenix Alchemy Connect series fans.
Ooh.
Both of them are the blue editions. One's 30cm, one's 60cm.
And the capability of these are actually able to connect to each other as well with a little adapter that they come with. And then I will get to the graphic card at the end, I'm afraid, because that is the piece de resistance. Then we move on to our power supply of 400 watts, which is a Sigmatech.
NRP. NRP 400 watt power supply.
That's right. And then we have our Samsung Barracuda.
Yeah. It's a 720.12 version.
1 terabyte.
7,200.12 version.
In terms of 1 terabyte, this is also a piece that used to be in my build, which I've relinquished for this. I've had my files backed up, so it don't really matter anymore. And then we have our little DVD reader.
Rewriter.
Oh, rewriter, sorry. Rewriter.
It's a light-on DVD rewriter.
And for one of the final last two, we are using Windows 8.1 Home Edition.
It's just the normal basic version.
Exactly. And you can get this at a retail price on Amazon for £85. And basically it comes with the card key. It also comes with, which I've found out I've never actually known it to actually come with 2 discs before, but it comes with 2 discs.
Oh, 64-bit.
It comes with a 64-bit and a 32-bit version, so
stick with 64 bits better.
Obviously, but if your system can support it, then of course you will. I'm just saying. Anyway,
I have to keep remembering to zoom out.
Well, zoom away, mate. Then you get the.
Because I look at your face and it's zoomed right in.
Oh, I can't help it. I have that magnetism. But I'm about to say, it comes with your key card, so I won't show you the key because I know what will happen. No. Anyway, moving on to our major piece, we have got for our I say customer, but he's a family member, the EVGA GeForce GTX 750 with G-Sync.
Yes, the EVGA versions are just about the only ones which support G-Sync because they have just about one of the only brands which have a DisplayPort on this particular graphics card. And all the other manufacturers says it supports G-Sync, but without a DisplayPort it can't. So it's just a basic graphics card for medium level gaming. It's he doesn't do a huge amount of gaming, but he plays the odd online game, so I thought this would be more than good enough for his system. So
he's majorly a YouTuber Googler. He loves to open multiple tabs and watch YouTube videos and Google, so we know what we're doing with this build.
Yeah.
Nice and easy. Anyway, shall we start with the unboxing?
Yep, we'll be back in a moment with everything unboxed.
Hello and welcome back. As you can see here, we've unpacked everything. I'm going to give you a thorough look. This is the stock cooler that comes with the AMD.
Unfortunately, RyFire kind of forgot that it got thermal paste already applied to the bottom. I wanted to take the thermal paste off anyway. To put the Arctic Silver 5 on, I'll add that here. Yeah, I've used a lot of it so far. So.
I can't help it, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put it down. It's one of those stupid things you forget when you take it out of the box. Oh, hold on, I'll just put it on the side. And then it happened. But there's our little 8-core. I'll give you a little bit of a nice little zoom if you can see it in the right in there. Yeah, comes with a sticker and there's the back. All the little diodes and everything.
Yeah. So one of the nice things we do have here is that we've got HyperX SSD and HyperX RAM, and the etching does match on both, which is a really nice thing I liked. Okay.
Right, and what we have here is the Sigmatech power supply, the 400 watts power supply.
Yep.
You look here, you'll see all the details and everything.
Sorry, I got to hold it upside down. Yeah, it's a 400 watt power supply. It's part of the NRP series. I did have a look online for pricing and that, and I can't really find it for sale anywhere. There's one place I found it for sale for like 25 quid or so. So it's not an expensive one. And it doesn't have an 80+ rating, so it's not the most energy efficient out there either. So it's just something that we already had at hand.
Exactly. And what we're going on to now is the Gigabyte board. You can see here it has the AMD.
The AM3 Plus socket.
That's it. That's the words I'm looking for. Sorry. And as you can see, it hasn't got very much in the PCI section.
It's only a micro ATX board anyway, and those don't usually have many there.
Exactly. And it's a case of, it comes with onboard graphics, for that matter.
Yeah.
So if you haven't got a graphics card, at least you've got that.
Yeah.
Just to keep
As
going.
I said, the links will be in the description below. I've already done an unboxing review on this motherboard.
Yeah.
So I've got this board specifically because it does have onboard graphics, but we then decided to get the graphics card. It's also got an IDE connector. He does have an old computer at the moment, and it's probably got an IDE
hard
drive in it, so we can connect that if he wants to.
Yes. And then we're going to move on to the graphics card, our GTX 750 from EVGA.
Yeah.
Well, what can I say about this card? It comes with 3 different display points.
On the back?
Yep, DVI, HDMI and DisplayPort. If I just take the little
yeah.
sockets off. Kept them on for just safety really. Here we are. There you are.
You come over to the light a bit, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
These are our little displays.
Yeah, we do have dual link DVI there.
HDMI display.
It's a DVI port, so it does come with a little
DVI
to VGA adapter.
Basically,
It does have an older monitor, so he's going to want that.
Exactly. And from what I've read of this graphics card, it is a fairly decent card for the price.
Yeah.
And I'm quite actually.
One good thing is we are limited on wattage with our power supply. The 750 runs on 55 watts of power, which is within the 75 watt power limit of the actual PCI socket itself. So it does not have a PCI, a separate power socket on the top like it usually does.
Not required.
We've got our Bit Phoenix LED strips here. Nothing hugely special about them. Oops, sliding.
You said they're slippery and slidey.
We've got our 4 fans here, which are going to be case fans. We have 1 exhaust and 3 intake fans. I do have a video about case air pressure, so I'll leave a link in the description for that. And again, our DVD rewriter and 1 TB hard drive. Anything to add?
Nothing much yet. What we'll do is now is we're going to cut to our build point, and we'll go in depth and build, and we'll even have a small sped up video for those who are a bit impatient. So let us get on. We'll see you in a minute. Right, welcome back everyone. We're going to do the build begin. Okay then, first for a start I'll put the core in, then I'll move all the...
Before you pick it up, you might want to lift the lever.
Oh yes, I know what you mean, but hold on, I've started now, so I might as well just do that for a second. I'll lift my little lever, so I can grab it, there we are. That's the locking lever if anybody's wondering.
Just so everyone knows, RyFire hasn't actually done a PC build before, so I'll be guiding him here and there. So, but I'm going to leave him to do the actual build itself.
I've done slight bits, but nothing major.
Yeah.
So I haven't actually made a full one yet. I've replaced RAM, I've took my core out, everything and all that business.
Apply the film off paste first.
Okay then. Put that down. You have a little, move it in for me a bit, mate. Right then. What we'll do is, as you say, less is more. As well.
Hold it.
Oh, I see.
Little cap on it.
I did not realise. Okay then. Smarty. Anyway, there we go.
It's about the size of a...
Like that.
A little bit more.
A bit more about that then.
So I'm getting in your hair a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Figure sleeve and really.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't get any more.
Smear it.
Yeah, back in a moment.
I'm afraid he's run out of line, folks.
Yeah, camera's charge was getting caught on the on one of my drawers.
How's that?
Just spread it out as much as you can.
There we are. so mucky, doesn't it not? But this helps for your cooling.
It might have been a little bit much, but...
I'm sorry, it might have come out a bit more of the tube. I might have been pressing down a bit, but that should do our build, should it not?
It should be okay.
Yeah.
We'll just put the cooler on quick and see how much of an excess we've got.
Exactly. Just grab the
Just
cooler.
be back in a moment. Right, everyone. There was a bit much in the way of thermal paste for this, but as you can see, the wire's a bit long to go there. So one way to make it look a bit neater is to tie it back slightly. Oh, that's that one. I'll just put a little loop in it.
Zoom in on it.
Yeah. Rather than have a long wire coiled up. Might redo that in a bit. That's a bit better. And that looks a lot neater compared to having a large bird's nest of a wire.
Yeah. Right. Put it back in place.
So yeah, there was a little bit much in the way of thermal paste, so we cleaned some of it up and put some new on it, and it's just fine now. So use a bit less than what we did. We didn't record the new amount. So onto the RAM.
Exactly. Onto the RAM. Move the packaging out of the way. So the Kingston there.
No, the Kingston HyperX Blue. Okay.
Very lovely looking RAM, is it not? Right then. Let's
make sure you line the notches up and stick it in the grey one.
Yeah.
It's usually best to stick the RAM in the furthest slots away from the processor itself.
Yeah.
So try not to get in the way too much. You have got it the right way around, haven't you?
Yeah. Just I'm trying to line up the slots. Being a bit of a pain. If it is, I'm gonna have to get down a bit.
I want to turn the board
That's
round.
what I mean. Get down, get funky. I'll try slotting it in that way first. Perhaps it may. Ah, there we go. It's given now. That's better. And then to put the RAM in, obviously a nice hard push.
Push on both sides until both the clips on both sides
Yeah, that's in.
clip into place.
And another one. Into Z RAM slot.
Hang on.
What's wrong?
You put the notch in the wrong way
I'm
round.
being a bit too fast.
Always make sure the notch is in the right place first.
That's right. Right, that side in, and there we go.
Yeah.
Oh no, hold on. There we go. Now it's all in.
Just always make sure.
Sorry.
Always make sure that these are clipped back up into place properly. And it's always best to use the two slots furthest away from the processors to give it extra room.
Okay then. And that is the basic things you need to put. Well, I say need. That would be best to put on before you mount it in your case.
Put it in the case, yeah. Next, we'll put the motherboard in the case. We'll just bring the case up and we're back in a moment.
Yep.
Right, before you put the motherboard in, you need to make sure you put the I/O shield in. Make sure that the text is the right way up, and that basically all the ports are towards the bottom. So make sure they all clips into place.
Eventually.
Yeah, there we go. There we go, it's all in. Let's pick this up quick. And then next goes the motherboard.
Exactly. And we line it up with the screws. Mention. Best having the fan on for one so you can hold it as such and position it easier.
So just be careful as you line it up.
Yeah, just move these wires up a bit. And because it's a micro board, it's a little bit fiddly because it's lining up with the...
Down a little bit.
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to get in position by looking through correct bit. There we go. Getting there. There. Right. Seems to be in the I/O shield.
Hang on. Careful.
Can you see what's amiss?
Nope, it's all lined up now.
It's all lined up. Okay then. Ooh. There we are.
Okay, just sort the screws out quick and I'm back in a moment.
Anyway, I just want to mention, now I've actually been explained, actually, the parts, as I said, I've put these sort of parts in before, but I've never actually messed about with the wiring. I've always left that to JoyboyP here. I've always let him do the wire bits, but now I look at it closer, because I've never actually looked into it, it is actually easier than I thought. Because as he said to me, all the wiring, if you look closely,
is labelled.
So now I know that it's going to be just as easy.
One
plugging
awkward
stuff in.
thing that is going to be is this USB one here. It's got 4 pins on it, so I'm not sure if it goes that way up, but this one, the other USB one,
has 8.
Well, is the full USB block, and it goes that way up. So I should imagine that one goes the same way up. So
anyway, before we do any wiring though, we'll have to
screw in the motherboard. Yeah.
And hopefully not screw it up.
Yeah.
As I say, just get one laid onto
the CPU packaging makes a decent little screw case.
That's fine where it is. And if you're wondering where this screwdriver came from, it came with JoyboyP's little SSD.
Yeah, it came with
kit.
HyperX 3. I got the upgrade kit, and it came with the screwdriver in it, which I didn't know at the time of purchasing it.
Yeah. Just saying, don't do these up too tight. Do them to a nice sort of firmness, not to the point where you're really screwing it in.
Just hand tight, or you'll strip the threads and completely screw it up.
Exactly, and there's a risk probably I would think.
Try and do the corners first.
Yeah. I just wanted to see if I could get one in for a good measure. Alright, there we are, that's there.
Get the angle in. Seems, yes. Is that feeling? If it keeps rotating, it means the thread's been stripped. Well, then this is a bad thread then. Yeah, I think one or two of them in this case are a bit bad. As long as most of them are alright, it should be okay. Well, this is actually getting a grip, but not a major one. So yeah, just get a slight grip and then make sure it never pops, because when you do, make it pop, that's when you strip the threads. That ain't coming out now, it's down there, so that's okay, that one. Just be careful when you're doing this, otherwise as you say, strip the thread. Just try and align it up. Right. This one seems to be tightening better. Just check. No, that needs a bit more. Don't do it too hard, because it is a very, very, very soft metal. Don't worry, I'm not doing it, I'll just do it exactly. It might look as if you're like really putting some weight behind it. I'm not trying to get the angle, because I'm looking through these little vents here to see it. Just so I can get a bit more light, but this one seems to be another one, so that's no good on match measure. But it seems to be staying for the moment, so I'll leave it at that. Stay still. And we'll try the one down here. See if you tighten up nicely. Which it seems to be. Now that's better, that one's gone nice and tight. Not going to be a problem. Do this side as well. Do forgive us if you hear a little bit of music in the background. Just open the window, it's a bit warmer now. Yeah. I've taken that screw out the corner, it just fell out, so I've left that alone. It might be a better idea to try a different screw. If you have another one, I'll be glad to take one. If I can just check some again. No, that ain't going. I can take that one out. Just try and get them to tighten up a bit, then we try using a different wider bore screw, like a PSU sort of screw. Yeah. I've heard of people using them instead, and that works fine. This is another one. Or is it the screw itself? I don't think it's the screws. No, it's not the screws. Right, then I'll try the one at the far corner, because that's the only one I can actually try at the moment. Hopefully. We have a cigar. Which we do. That's alright, that one's nice and tight. Yeah. So through the angles here, a bit difficult to try and see a shot. As such, we have only 1, 2, 3. Yes, 3 where we couldn't actually screw anything in. So we just try a few different screws, because if not, it should still be strong enough to stay in. Try that one, RyFire. Sorry, it's alright. Make it too big. How's that? I'm not sure yet. Better, much better. Give us another couple of those. I'm not sure what those were. They're very good, whatever they are. Yeah. Hopefully nothing that we need later on. So we're using old screws from this case and another build that we've semi-completed. We just need to install an OS and get a graphics card for it. So the other build that's semi-completed is from my sister, so she's quite the game of herself. Only she is. This one's not going to screw in. No. All the other screws are screwed in except for one, which is no tragedy. Yeah. If we can't get one screw left into it. I think the other one's screwed. Yeah. Oh well. We've got a large majority of screws in. One screw does not hurt. You've still got the one above it. Go for like a custom heatsink for your CPU sort of thing, like the big white shadow wrap or something like that, you might want to make sure that all the screws in to help support that weight. Exactly. So, because that is a fairly hefty thing, is it not? Yes, it is. Yeah. Okay, let's move these little screws out of the way, because they're not going to use for us at the moment. Screws over there. Right, I forgot a screw. Did I? Where did I forget a screw? Right up the top and here. Oh, I didn't even see it. It is a very awkwardly placed screw. Right in there. Like I say, I must read glasses next time, I'll have your eyes, because I have to say I've got your pork eye. Yeah. Well, I thought there seemed to be too many screws left over from that. So. Yeah, which is a bit weird, didn't it? Anyway, I'll try and get that one in, if we can. manufactured to make it a little bit easier. Yes. Keep going. It's going somewhere. Straight through the PCB. Don't say that. Nightmare that thing. It doesn't seem to... No, that ain't going either. Let me give you another one of those others. I think these ones are a bit of a dud. In fact, I think these ones are on the original case. Sure, these ones were. Do I replace all the screws with them then? So we seem to have enough for them. Not necessarily. Let's just carry on as we are for the moment. Right. If it goes in easy straight away, then we might have... I'll say yes, because remember one of them didn't bother. I'm not sure if it's in the hole. By the sound of it. No, it is because it's come off. Yeah. But it doesn't want to grip grip. It's just spinning. So we're going to give this one a go. We'll back in a moment once we've got the motherboard properly secured.
Okay.
Right, everybody. We've now got the motherboard secured in now after just checking all the screws. He added one more screw that actually did catch a thread, but it was a slightly bigger one.
Yeah, I believe the PSU screws managed to get one to go in the top corner there as well. So, as I said, there are. It is an old case, and a couple of the standoffs weren't so good in it. So.
You've heard of the rant, obviously, via JoyboyP about the case itself and how I came in possession of it. So, well, if you haven't, he'll leave a link below.
Yeah.
So,
there goes my name again.
pardon?
The facial recognition saying my name on it.
We
We honestly don't look that much alike.
Believe me, by the end of this, you should see his face. Eventually. I'm going to have to turn it round. Excuse me.
Use one hand.
No, I can use one hand. Many people can, but I'd rather be more safe and sorry with a case like this, which is quite thin metal. There we go. Let's move this over here, out of the way. Right, now the reason I've taken this is off so I can actually put the power supply's wiring through without any problem. So if I can just move this over here for a second.
Get that out. As I've said in my unboxing, well, I've reviewed this. Vibox didn't put a motherboard header on their front panel USB 3.0 port, so I had to actually buy one.
Which is fairly annoying. Right, aligning up.
I need more screws. Yes. Another screwdriver. What did I do with that packet then? That's some PSU screws there. PSU screws. Lost them a little bit. Yeah. Right, we got some hard drive ones. Some... Oh, those are ones I gave you with, wrong ones. Ooh, shit. So you'll see I'm just securing power supply's position so it stays in place at all times. Now, we are putting the fan up in this system for one major reason, because the fan slot in the bottom is nowhere near aligned for it. So they did not think about that when they actually sent me this case, or this entire system for that matter. Yeah. So I was done out of a fair amount of money. I took it. Well, I took it as anybody would. Very peeved off. Tried to contact them about it. They told me to get twizzed. So that was that. And it was all for because the graphics card had a loan. What's that? PSU screws. More. Oh, thank you. Yeah, but I'm just giving you 2 black ones and 4 silver ones, so you might want to take the black ones out. Thank you. So everyone, this build in some ways wasn't very well thought out in advance. So, well, I'm not surprised. The card, believe it or not, folks, actually arrived today, and so did the operating system. So who wanted to have a go and build it straight away? Well, let's just say I felt like a kid in a candy shop, or a kid before Christmas would probably be better. Maybe it is, not even is. No. Oh dear. Come on, get out of it. There we go. I wish you know those screws are good. Yeah, definitely get them again. Right, these are fairly substantial, these ones, a little bit bigger. Just put them there for a moment, as I'll see them better. You might not have noticed, or you might have, we just moved this dresser drawer thing over towards the light a bit better for better eyes. It's now gone dark outside. So we did have a lunch break in the middle of dinner, whatever you want to call it. So. Dinner break. I'm trying to get a good purchase on these, I have to say. It's a bit open right now, but I don't go like that. You could push forward for me, thank you, mate. So you go counterclockwise first, make sure it's straight. It seems to be. Ah, I'm getting the grip now, that's it. That's good. Thank you. Just keep applying pressure. Oh. Ah, there we go, tightening now, it's just taking a bit of doing. Yeah, that is on. There's another. Let's get apply pressure. Go back, you're crossfade on it. Just doing an angle then. It wants to go that way, but it doesn't need to. Why is it doing that? Go further back now. Excuse me. Oh, I see what it's doing. Excuse me. Are we straight in there? I'm not sure. But fairly big. It's all lined up with the case, the case is skew-if. That wouldn't surprise me with this case. Too true. As I said, people, the actual owner of this case isn't too minded on the condition of the case. He's more concerned about how the system's going to run. Exactly, because he's recently had a computer that, believe it or not, is still an HP. And it is older than that as well, so this is going to be quite the surprise for him, I have to say, because he has no idea of this. No. It's a birthday present. And we've all pitched in and got something for him, because we all thought we might as well give him what he deserves. Sorry. I know it makes it sound a lot worse than it is, but he deserves something a little bit better than that, does he not? 10-year-old system, that is practically half the stuff bloody welded together. There we go. I know it's supposed to be straight, but it seems that it doesn't want to go straight. It's the way the power supply is pushing out. So they've even sent a power supply that doesn't really fit correctly. This doesn't look right. In the system. I know, I'm not happy with that. Stop recording there.
Right, back everyone. In the end, we had to take out a few screws again and we retried it.
Yeah.
What we had to do, believe it or not, we had to twist, turn it, lift it, press it. In other words, the case itself
is a bit of an awkward fit.
Exactly, it's not the bestest fit, or bestest, the best fit. I'm talking primary again, but it's in. It's in, yeah. For now.
That's all that matters. It's in.
Exactly. Now I'm going to start by plugging in a couple of the wiring pieces in, and then we'll start with the spaghetti junction thing we got here. If you noticed.
Oh.
What's happening there, mate?
You zoom it. I zoomed right in, then you move that straight in front of it.
I'm sorry, did I scare you?
No, it was just a complete blur mess.
If you zoom in on the spaghetti junction here, we've got to wrap this round the back and everything and feed it correctly, and then we'll sort all the bits out. For now, we'll start with the smaller ones at the moment. This cable here for the power switch, and can you zoom in on the little labels there enough?
Went out of focus for a moment. Come on, there we go. Whoa.
Moving yourself a minute.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. As you can see underneath, you've got the little labels for the power switch and everything else. This is why I was saying each little wire's got its own little label as soon as it focuses. There we go. And if you look closely underneath, like you can see power, if you look closer, that's it. Power there, and where it says the plus and the minus, it actually has
plus and minus on the switches, on the connectors. That's just the power switch, so that doesn't matter.
Exactly. So the power switch is literal case of just
LEDs are the only ones that matter which way around.
Yeah. So as long as you place it in place with the label, of course, then you should be fine. Anyway, I'm going to plot them in. Excuse me, but I may get in the way of the camera at the moment.
Well, it's a bit of an awkward job, isn't it?
And you always put them on the top, the power. And you do. Okay. Now, what I'm going to plug in now is the HDD LED, which is on the bottom, and the plus is facing to the left. So you push that in there, that side, yep. And then we have the preset switch.
Reset.
Preset? Oh, reset, yes, not preset. Silly me. Which is underneath the power. So you have to place this underneath. If I can just diddle that wire out of the way. I'm going to have to get in again. Actually, what I'll do is I'll take that one out and do this one first, and then I can just nicely place it. There we are, that went in nicely. And I can place this one back in. And there we are. All three are in the correct placements, I believe. What do you say, yes?
Yep.
Yep, okay then. Then we
There's
have our
power LED in it.
power LED,
Yeah,
is the red and white. No, that's the HDD, isn't it?
Is there a power LED?
Believe it or not, I think there is not. Hold on, unless it's gone out the back. Which it has not.
Alright.
Okay, carry on.
Not many on this case then.
No. Okay, so we have the USB, which does not...
Do the large block one first.
Which I will do, if I can just get enough length through. And I'll put it onto this one here, which says, hold on, there we are. Which is USB 1. I've popped it onto. And then we've got our little thin little USB header.
Stick it into the top part. Same orientation as the first one.
Yep. If I can just line him up. Should seem to have done. Oh, there we are.
Let me just get a closer look at him.
Go and have a nice look.
See? Nothing too difficult about it.
No, nothing at all. And then we have our HD audio, which is over here. F audio.
Yep.
Okay, there we are.
This camera doesn't like zooming in much.
No, it does not. And there we are. These are all the little basic ones you've got to plug in, and then we get to spaghetti junction.
So we've got to sort out the USB 3 first.
Too true, I misseen that. Hold on,
Be back in a moment because I figured out some cable origami which helped sort out the mess with that one. So back in a moment.
Right, now we are going to add the USB 3 for the final one.
As we can see, the cable on this was very long, so had to wrap it around the case a bit to try and make it a bit shorter.
Fits nice and snug.
As you can see in the top here, there's a little notch, so it'll only go in one way around. Don't fight against the notch, or you'll ruin it.
And regret it. Anyway, now we've sorted out the major little pieces. It's now time to focus on this lot. It looks scary, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now let's just try and untangle it as much as possible, just to make it a bit easier on ourselves. Which will take a moment. Actually, it's quite easy. You're feeling all the pieces.
Should we get the main power ATX through first?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find him. Oh, there he is. Here we are. Now, as you can see it there, I'm going to pop him straight through. Thank you for your hand. I'm going to pop him through here. Let him feed up the back and through here. You can see. So the idea is to try and make it as neat as possible, because all he does then, I'm just going to have to move in a little, mate.
Yeah.
And then he just goes in, he curls round and clips in. Oh, there we go. Let's get some light.
Oh, look at that. PCB made in China.
Oh, and everything made in China. It's like that film, isn't it? It's alright.
Yeah.
I've still got my know-how where I am. If I can get my hands in, that's the case. Yes, excuse the
Wrong
pun.
one, wrong one. That's the IDE.
IDE? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong bloody one again. Oh, I'm looking down there for some reason.
That's where it usually is. Well, kind of a bit down there, but a bit lower. Yeah.
This is it. Oh, it's a bit tight, mind you.
Yeah, usually it is.
No, I mean the wire itself. It's
Yeah,
a bit of a stretch.
Often it is a bit of a stretch.
Right, just saying, it is a bit hard to put in, so don't get too frustrated and go berserk. There we go. And we have a nice snug fit. And he's in.
Good push.
Yeah, he's in.
Right.
Okay.
Right, do you want to sort this out quick?
Yeah.
Sorry, our lights come off the... hang on.
Well, I'll tangle via the wire of the camera as well.
The desk lights come unclipped.
As we said earlier, this was not very well planned. Do forgive us.
Yeah. Let's get the CPU on in next.
Yeah. Let's just... Right.
So, where are we?
I'm just thinking that myself.
No, that's Molex.
Molex, CPU.
I think, is this it? No, that's PCI.
SATA. PCIe.
What's this one?
That one is
Just a four
just a
pin.
4-pin.
There should be another one.
Where is the other one? Set over there.
No, that's... I think it's both the PCI ones you need.
How
Nope.
strange.
Be back in a moment whilst we sort this out.
Right, after closer inspection, we seem to have a...
There's only a 4-pin and a 6-pin on the power supply. 6-pin's PCIe and the 4-pin is just a white one. So
Exactly. And the actual slot, the ATX, it said 12 volt here, is actually an 8-pin. But as we only have a 4, I believe...
it is the same motherboard and power supply as what was originally supplied with the system originally, and we had a computer specialist look at it and said that's the way that you had to do it. So it ran okay like that. So we're going to do the same.
Exactly. I think it is majorly down to the fact, same with graphics cards with the 6-pin and 8-pin, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. Though we haven't got much wire.
Is there not?
No, there isn't. Look where it stops. So I'm going to have to try and just think of a way to wire this round. And, you know, I'm afraid I may actually have to go up the front. Which I don't want to do.
Try coming through here, through the bottom there, and that way it doesn't look quite so messy.
Hold on. Without tangling it anywhere. Right, as I say, because we're so limited for space.
The only other thing I can suggest, Ryan, which you're not going to like,
is...
we're going to have to flip the power supply.
We have to flip it.
Because then the cables are closer to the motherboard and we'll have more space to play with.
Well, all I can say
We'll be back in a minute once we've flipped
right,
it.
we're now going to be putting the fans in.
Just to quickly mention, we did flip the power supply. Some of the cable runs were a bit better, and this one's going to have to wrap round the graphics card up round this way and up to the spot in the top. I'm now going to put all the fans in. We'll just start on one and then just cut to the next installation part. Don't want to bore you with just putting in, was it,
Fans.
12 screws.
Exactly. It's just
Why did you rip it open?
Because I couldn't get out the packet otherwise. Go on. Yeah, there we are. It's not like you're going to reuse it, is it? Or are you?
Yes, I was.
Sorry. We're most the only people I know that do it. Right then.
Oh, there's still those to go back in it, isn't there?
Whatever. Right, let's get this in.
Wrong way round.
Pardon? Yes,
No,
that's right.
No, sorry, you were right the first time. So, you just had the orientation a bit wrong. That was all.
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant. Sorry.
Line you up.
So yeah, we've had to very carefully think out cable orientation in this build, as it does have a window on the side of the case. We'll try and keep things rather neat. So we'll just get all the fans in and we'll be right back.
After painful endeavour, the fans are in. It took 2 of us, each fan.
Yeah.
Majorly.
The rubber mounts of the fans make it very difficult to put it on this case. This case is made of a very flimsy, very flexible metal. So,
Look at the back as it flexes so.
So it doesn't provide much force when you've got to really put a lot of force onto the screws so you can screw them in with rubber fans. So with this case, do not use a rubber mounting system.
I repeat, do not use a rubber mounting system. Anyway, we're going to get to cable orientation to where...
Yeah, we've put a few cables through, and I put a few through on the back. The rear top fan is connected to a Molex extension harness. The front top fan is connected to the case's fan readout, and it will control the fan from that. And the rear fan is connected to the only system fan header in the system itself. So
we are now going to cable orientate all the cables into this section here where your hard drive would be.
Yeah.
We're
going to have the hard drive in the bottom to cover most of the cables, and then we're going to put the solid state drive closer to the top.
And then we'll focus on decoration.
Yeah.
And then put the graphics
While the
card.
going's good, shall we get the LED strips in?
I was about to say, we can do the decoration now because that is going to be tricky.
Yeah.
Let's just get these alchemy. Where'd they go? Right, we have a graphics card. Where have you popped them?
Oh, there's one here.
There's one there.
You put one on the bed, I believe.
Yes, I did. I'll have a look in a second. Anyway, for now, we'll
be back in a moment once we've got things straight after that fan endeavour. Right.
Right, we've retrofitted all the fans as we've said. We've put the wiring cut a bit better.
We've got the Bitfinex lights in it now.
Yeah.
Along the bottom there and
at the top here, if you
at
see.
the top there, if you can see it, I'm not sure. So.
Either way, we've sorted it out in the sense of decor. Now we've just got to sort out a little bit more cable orientation.
Yeah.
Hard drives.
They're over here, right? Yeah.
Well, no, one is not over here.
I said one.
One's over there, one's here.
Yeah.
And then we have to just basically plug them in, power up, make sure everything's working correctly. And tomorrow we're going to launch it with the operating system, install it, and we'll obviously record that and show you what happens with that. But first of all, let's get this other stuff done first.
Yeah.
We've still got to get all the power cable.
We'll sort out the Molex connectors first and then install the hard drives. You don't really need to watch us do that, so we'll just go ahead and install them and then show you what it's like afterwards.
Exactly, so we'll see you in a moment. Hello everyone. Wire orientation is practically done. We've only got to put the back panel on.
Bit of a nightmare, but
But as you can see, it's nice and clear in there.
Yeah.
So it's quite nicely orientated. We've just got to put the graphics card in, power cable, which will just fiddle around that bit there. Yeah. And
so far we've been at this over 2.5 hours.
Mostly because we had to make a video.
And those are my computer parts over there for our builds. So
yeah.
I thought I'd just show those quick.
Mine's on the left, his is on the right. Mine's the ROG gear from Asus. And there we go, graphic card is in. And there we go. Card is in, need a screw.
So yeah, you didn't miss much. All we did was put the hard drives in. Got the SSD there, the 1TB hard drive. Screwing in on this side was fairly easy. Screwing in on the front was somewhat of a nightmare. Got a bit of cable origami going on at the back here, trying to keep things a bit neat and tidy. Most of the Molex connectors for all the LEDs are just shoved in the front here. Thankfully there's no fan in the front anymore, so we've got plenty of space to hide wires behind there. This one's a temperature probe for the front panel display. And that's about it. Just try and keep this out of the way. So everything should be going okay.
And power cable is in.
As you can probably tell as this video's progressed, we've kind of lost our motivation a bit being at this for so long.
What do you suppose this one for?
That's probably just a 4-pin CPU one or a 4-pin PCI one.
Yeah, I'll just pop that back there.
As I say, just stick it through there and then stick it around the back.
So yeah. Get in there.
So yeah, we'll just finish sorting out a few bits of wiring and we'll wrap this video up for the most part. Why has this gone so blurred?
Right everyone, we've finished the build through hardships and everything. Now the one thing I'm going to say is this is a Firebox case from the PC builders Firebox. I personally do not support them, mainly because I got this PC from them and it buggered up.
We just used this case because it was a spare case which we had lying around. We have 4 cases and 3 computers being built, so
exactly, and this was the extra one which we could make a birthday present out of.
Yeah.
The thing is that I'm actually going to ask you guys to say, if anything, in the comment section below. We've put the power supply in. Now this is the one thing I'm mostly concerned of. It's a 8-pin connector on the motherboard. The power supply only supplies it with a 4-pin. I have no idea whether this is a bad or a good thing. I would like to know if you guys have any information. Please leave comments in the comment section below of JoyBoy's YouTube page.
Originally, Firebox did supply it the same configuration with a 4-pin power supply, CPU power supply lead into an 8-pin motherboard connector, and it was working fine up until his maxing out his graphics card, and it's graphics card which was causing the power supply to overwatt or overvolt.
Let me put it for example and explain exactly what happened. Hitman Absolution, ultra settings. Every time it was on ultra settings and I played it for like about 5 minutes, it would emergency shut down. Eventually the emergency shutdown failed to happen and it caused it to go green, blue, all the colours of the bloody rainbow, and it shorted out the actual graphics card. The computer and the motherboard, everything else was fine working. After I took the graphics card out, it never did it again. In other words, it just shorted the graphics card. So, the
graphics card still doesn't work.
Exactly, that's done, that's dead. But let me explain what exactly the major problem was and why I was doing that. I found out, as the power supply is 400 watts, they actually did not calculate the wattage correctly. Me and JoyBoy's most assumption is that the fact they actually misunderstood the processor's power consumption.
As it was, as the 8350, the FX8350 was a fairly new
processor at the time.
Yeah, requiring 125 watts.
125 watts, and then the card itself was 80 watts, and then you add everything else up into the equation. Of course, then that's it. So basically, they miscalculated with the power supply. This is why we've gone for this particular card as a 50. Was it 50 watts?
It's 55 watt.
55 watt power draw.
one that was in it originally required 80 watts. In it originally was the AMD, was it Radeon HD 7770?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think it was that one, or the 750 one.
I think it's 7770.
Yeah. Either way, that's gone now. It's dead. So what we're going to do now for you is, as we just give you a quick overview, go around JoyboyP and just show them the outside at the moment. Then we're going to kill the lights and show you how it looks, all nice and pretty.
Yep.
Right then.
So I'll grab the light.
All right then. No. I'll grab it. You start from a view at the side, and we'll work our way round. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. And contact. Oop.
Oh, I switched it off at the back. Sorry.
Could you please switch it on, please?
I can't see.
You can't see. All right. Once again. 3, 2, 1. Contact. We have added in the alchemy
wait for
LEDs.
things to. There we are.
As we said, the alchemy LEDs are in it, so that it's a lot more illuminant than it was before. And
as I mentioned on previous videos, this camera seems to like ultraviolet light and display it as purple, so that's why the video might end up looking somewhat rather purple, because most blue lights do emit an ultraviolet light.
if you look inside, though, it seems to have lit up the lighter colours.
Yes.
Like a.
Whoa!
Have you noticed, like a what's that? A fluorescent light,
Yeah.
which I have to find a little bit amusing for myself.
Got the ATX power 4-pin part there, which is glowing orange, and then that looks so cool. Come up here and.
Oh wow! But as we were saying, if you guys have anything about that 4-pin, if it's a bad idea to keep it connected, please tell us, because we'd rather get this thing right than wrong.
Yeah.
And we are still noobs to all this, so if you wouldn't mind, just help out a noob, and I'm sure
Everyone has to start somewhere.
exactly.
So get a look at the front quick.
There's a temperature probe to tell you the temperature. Has
Nice
a
Vibox logo there. So.
yeah, has a clock to tell you how long it's actually been on, but it resets itself after 24 hours, which means it sets itself back to 1. Tells you the RPM of the fans, which is 1300.
Sorry, this camera's never like that front panel header much.
Fair enough. But it's a pretty cool looking case, but in all due respect, I find that it is terribly flimsy for what it could be. They could have, if they slashed out a bit more money, they could have made it a little bit nicer.
Vibox sign, we've had to replace the LEDs in that.
And I had to replace that on day 1 as well when I first got it.
Because he removed them originally and have replaced them with new ones. Does look a bit darker than the actual Vibox ones, but at least it still glows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
lights.
the thing that really majorly annoyed me with Vibox was the fact that they were returns policy.
Yeah.
Because they said if I wanted to actually have the card refurbished or whatever, I had to send the entire piece back instead of actually just sending the actual, the entire computer back instead of the actual, part. So anyway, let me just show you this. Just open this for you quickly. There's nothing really much to see except for the DVD reader. Or reader and everything. No, it all works. We haven't installed the BIOS yet, as you can probably tell.
No, we've not installed anything. We're going to do that tomorrow. Probably continue filming and we'll make a follow-up video which we'll upload around the same sort of time.
Exactly, because it's now 11:23.
Yeah, we've been at this 3 hours, 3-4 hours.
Believe me, we've done it faster before with bits, but it's just because we were trying to give you guys an in-depth.
Yeah, we're trying to talk about parts and install parts and realising we've got something slightly wrong, so we had to remove it, change it, do something like that. So it's been fun. Bearing in mind, neither of us have used an anti-static wristband. I do have one, but I just don't generally use it because I never give anything an electric shock anyway.
Exactly, I've turned it off. Don't worry, that wasn't.
Yeah, I know
else.
it was. Yeah.
But yes, we didn't use anti-static. Majorly,
it is advisable that you do, but
we've been grounded a lot of the time anyway. We've been keeping ourselves grounded naturally throughout this build. We don't want to short anything. I mean, of course, looking at me, the hair I've got, will static anything.
As I say, the facial recognition is now saying that you're Carl.
It's amazing. Apparently I'm a man of a million faces. Okay. Anyway then, I'm happy that you guys, if you've enjoyed the video, please leave a comment section saying you have.
Please leave a comment in the comment section below.
Yes, I know, I'm tired. Anyway, please leave a happy comment in the comment section below. And I hope to see you all again later on my own channel, which I will establish once my system's built.
Yeah. My channel is also a bit idle at the moment. I've just been making the odd review video, and I'm planning to do a lot more of my channel once I've actually built my system, but that's probably not going to be till this side of December. So.
And as we say, I'm RyFire, and this is JoyboyP, and we'll see you in the next video. HyperX Kingston 120GB SSD. These, I've got one in my laptop, and I have to say, it's increased the speed exponentially. So capacity.
Yeah, sorry, just some of the weird functions of my camera at play.
Oh, you're recording!
I've just started recording again.
What the
fuck?
What's that face?
The facial recognition is saying that you are me.
That's creepy.
Very.